Tom Segura has a special out called Ball Hog. And if you don't know what a ball hog is, you should definitely Google the term. Some of you might enjoy it. Now, Tom Segura is definitely what would be considered a dirty comic. You know, he has a much darker sense of humor, but fucking hilarious nonetheless. I think this is like his fourth, maybe fifth Netflix comedy special. He does really well with Netflix. He is married to another comic called Christina Pajitsky, who also has a couple of comedy specials on Netflix. And they do a podcast together called Your Mom's House. They also have 2 kids, 2 boys, actually, both toddlers, I want to say. Like the oldest one I don't think he's more than like 3 or 4. And then they have like a newborn or like 1, 2 years old maybe. Around that range. And what stands out the most to me about Tom Segura has always been the case, is his stoic demeanor, which makes his delivery just stand out that much more. Like, he can say the most absurd shit, the darkest shit, the funniest shit, the most like risque shit, and just like with a straight face, to the point that in and of itself makes you laugh that much harder. So he has this one bit about talking about the difference between the love of a pet versus the love of a child, and how, you know, he has a dog, and, you know, before he had kids, he obviously didn't know the difference between, you know, some folks that don't have kids and say, oh, I have a dog. It's like the same thing as having a kid. And he talks about how, you know, the love of a pet is real, but it really ain't shit compared to having a kid. And then he tries to give an example to folks that may not have children that he wants to get this point across to. And he says that he loves his dog, but if the dog were to like attack and bite one of his kids, he would, without hesitation, grab and drown that dog. And the way he says it, the way he does it, it's like you expect him to say something like, you know, I'll grab that dog and, you know, put it up for adoption, or I'll kick it, or, you know, like something like that. But he goes, I'll grab and drown that dog. Like, he takes such sharp turns. Like, you know the direction that he's going in, but he just goes so much more extreme with it that it's unexpected. You know what I mean? And he takes these sharp turns, and then on top of that, he like doubles down on it. And he's like, and I'll hold his head down like through the yelps and until it stops yelping, and I'll kill that fucking dog. And then what's even more ingenious is that he'll break the fourth wall, and, you know, some of the audience is like oohing, and some of them are cracking up. And he's like, you know, this is a very telling joke. Audiences all over the place, whenever I tell this joke, it kind of divides the audience. It's like, some folks are like, oh my God, you overdid it with like the yelping. Please don't say the yelping. Please don't do the sounds. Like, that was like a little over the top. And then he's like, and then some audience members are like, yeah, do the yelp, man. That's my favorite shit. Which is true. It's like, I can definitely see that spectrum of interpretation. Spectrum, by the way, is apparently the word of the day for the podcast. I think I've used it like 5 times already, in case you guys hadn't noticed. Oh, he's fucking hilarious, man. Then he goes on to say that then his son starts crying because the dog is dead, and he goes over to his son and gives him the dog, the dead dog, and the son is like crying, like, why'd you kill him, and, you know, what am I supposed to do with him now? And then he like triples down and tells his son, well, if you learned to fucking defend yourself, I wouldn't have to do shit like this. And I don't know, it might not be your type of comedy, but to me, funny is funny. And unexpected in comedy just makes shit hilarious. And getting unexpected in comedy when you expect unexpected and it's still unexpected is just fucking brilliant. Like, even if you just remove the subject matter, if you're not a fan of that, if you just look at it from a craft perspective and the ability to pull that off, you have to tip your hat to that. And the last thing I want to share is a quick little clip from this comedy special, which is not a joke or a bit or anything like that, but it's like a quick little 30-second snippet that's motivational and I thought worth sharing. So here you go.
I like it. And I'll tell you this. I want you to have crazy dreams. I'm serious. I really do. I'll give you the best advice, sincerely, not a joke, that I ever got about pursuing a dream. And I hope it applies to all of you, okay? Here's the truth. I think this is true. As long as you accept that your dream might not go exactly as you plan, you will still feel fulfilled by the pursuit of your dream. So always go after whatever you want to do. Otherwise, what's the point in living, right? Yeah.
And that is Tom Segura's Ball Hog stand-up comedy special, which is streaming now on Netflix. Check it out.